While we are hoping that a new wind of change is blowing in the NPFL, it seems that particular style of poor officiating is coming back again. Welcoming you on the show. This is the Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. The first story we'll be looking at has to do with that particular story that I actually mentioned earlier, where NPFL right now is beginning to face some referee officiating issue. NFF suspend 3 referees over poor officiating. Well, we look at there's a particular statement being dished out from the NFF there. Let's look at that notice of suspension for poor officiating. The following referees are hereby suspended until they appear before the referees committee for explanation on what happened in the matches they were involved as follows. Shooting Stars versus Kwara United, Ndubusi Oka from Imo. We have Otumbo Morrison from Delta, assistant referee 2. Rivers United versus Niger Tornadoes, Faro Abdurrahman from Lagos. They will be facing the music right now for the fact that they did not do well in those games, Rivers United versus Niger Tornadoes, and also Shooting Stars versus Kwara United. I have Joseph Peter in the studio to talk about all the sporting story that I'll be looking at this hour. Good to have you.
Good to have you, sir. Thank you for having me.
Now, that first story, you saw there, the name of those referees are being penalized now, and from the way it is, even that match between Rivers United versus Niger Tornado is also mentioned.
That match, especially that match, caught my attention. We are all happy that the officiating is becoming better, only for this stain, I see it as a stain, to happen again. Initially, in the past, it would have been overlooked. But this time around, something is being done about it. I think that's a positive we should take. They are being summoned to explain, which means that it will lead to some form of consequences. That's all we needed. It means the NPFL is being taken serious now, and the IMC are trying their best to do their job. Ordinarily, it's human error that things like that, when you're trying to handle a situation, some maybe setbacks tends to happen. We wasn't expecting that it was going to be all rosy with the officiating all season. Of course, we are going to face challenges. Temptations will come to the referees also. But the most important thing is, when something like this happens, it should be tackled immediately, and that is what they are doing now. And I think I see that as a positive, and they should keep it up.
Well, hopefully it will get better, but right now those referees just have to face the panel to explain what went wrong in those games that they officiated. It's high time we just get it right, and coupled with the fact that recently, you know, most of these matches have been streamlined. A lot of people are seeing it, and people are watching, and there is no way you can hide any of these occurrences right now. So they just have to do what need to summon them for them to face the music. At least let's get our league sanitized.
You know, when NFF, IMC the other time listed out conditions for the games and the coverage of matches was mentioned, I was happy, because that gives kind of an exposure to the matches that are being played, and the coverage tends to allow people see things for themselves, and it tends to help the officials in deducing whatever happened and seeing errors and correcting them. This is one of them. The NPFL game against Rivers United and Niger Tornadoes, the clip of that goal has been going around the social media. So there's no way, and there's no way you can hide it. Everybody knows that something is wrong, and this, thanks to the coverage of that match. The improvement there is good, and I think it will help us in a long way.
This, from the way it is now, if that ref that referred the game is now penalized, and possibly if they review that goal and they award it, it means they actually play a draw.
A draw. And then it means everybody would, I think 2 points will be deducted from Rivers United.
Yes.
And 1 would be added to Niger, which makes Tornadoes the leaders. It's a good thing. I mean, there should be,
and it will help our league.
Yeah, it will help. There should be consequences. The referees have been summoned to explain. It is very, very important that they are being penalized strictly. It should be the penalty should be harsh, so that it will serve as a lesson, as a deterrent to other referees too. I mean, we are trying to go back to our glory days now. we shouldn't allow little foxes like that come up and spoil whatever they are trying to build.
Hopefully to get better in Nigerian Football League. They are talking about the NPFL matches being played, and officials, that's referees, needs to up their game in officiating. After all, they cannot complain about not being paid anymore, because right now their money, talking about their wages, is directly to their account even before the matches were played. Good one there coming from the IMC, coming up with those modalities to get our league better. Now let's talk about Rivers United. Rivers United will not be playing at home, talking about Masiamaka Stadium in Port Harcourt, but rather they'll be playing away in Uyo. Why? The CAF right now has actually declared their home unfit to hold such an event. Talking about the CAF Confederation, because Masiamaka Stadium over there in Port Harcourt is not fit enough. So hence the reason for them to move straight to pick Uyo, the nearest better stadium to Rivers State, and now they'll be playing over there in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State.
The facilities or our stadiums, it has become mostly normal for our stadiums not to be maintained. And I strongly believe that this is a case because we allow politicians to run our football. These maintenance are being done by state governors or the state government. And politicians, most of them do not really have that passion for sports and football the way we all do. So they tend to, put it as a second option or a second class project or whatever, and ignore all these stadiums to go rotten. But I believe that if stadiums were being owned by private organizations, they would see it as a source of income and would always take care of those stadiums. Now, this is one of the setbacks of leaving it to politicians. Rivers United have to be going to Uyo to go and play their home matches, which will kind of demoralize them when it comes to support, because the fans would have to be traveling that far, and you and I know that it's not all the fans that will be going. Just like it is happening to another club, it happened to Kano Pillars. That's why, one of the reasons why Kano Pillars are where they are now. It is happening to Kwara United, who are having to go to Shooting Star Stadium.
It's happening to Nasarawa United.
It's happening to Nasarawa United, going to Jos. And Nasarawa has not won a match now since the table started. Maybe it would have been like that if they were playing at home. So all these things, I think, maybe it's a stage by stage something. We'll go from one level to another level. Right now, let's deal with the issue of officiating and the other minor things. Then maybe privatization will come into the league, and then these stadiums will be taken seriously.
From the way it says, they adopt a facility that the Minister of Youth and Sport Development brought, really helping the likes of a National Stadium in Surulere, Lagos, the one in Abuja, MK Abiola Stadium, and hopefully maybe more of this can be done to the likes of Doki and Masiamaka Stadium, who has been declared fit enough to host such a magnitude of match coming from CAF Confederation right now. So they have to shift it to Uyo at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium. That's where they'll be playing their trade if they still playing in the CAF Confederation. Let's see if things just get better concerning renovation of all those stadiums that we have in Nigeria. We can get this thing done, and really sport should not be taken with levity. We need to take it very seriously, because it can help the society about unemployment, help the society away from social vice, and also generate income for anyone that are actually into sport. Now let's go international. EFL Cup. Nottingham Forest will be fighting hard against Manchester United. Will they be able to win against a team, Manchester United, right now they are in one of their best form against Nottingham Forest? This for a long time. This Manchester United team is for a very long time the best team I've seen since the days of Ferguson. Credit to Eric Ten Hag. He stood his ground, and they discharged whoever needed to be discharged and changed whatever he needed. What are you trying to?
I know what I faced the last time I went into that, so I'm not going to go into that. I'll just end it there. But
the way you did the hand, that you flushed out. What? I don't understand.
No, something happened.
Can you mention names?
No, I cannot mention names, because if I mention them, I probably will not leave this house today.
Oh my goodness.
So he did what he needed to do. He did an Arteta, and it's working out. and I'm happy for him, because I remember prior to him taking the job, there was a very prominent coach that even advised him against going for that job. But he has been able to raise the standard of Man United from being 20th on the league to where they are now, even in contention, kind of.
For the top
At
four.
least before last weekend, they were in contention for the league.
Are you stylishly throwing jive at Man United?
I'm not throwing jive.
For your facial expression and your voice, what you are saying.
Okay, let's talk about the Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest is actually doing good right now too. And I think they will look back and see how far they have come. The position, the fact that they are playing the semi-final of the EFL, and they will be grateful for the past few months. And I think they will relish their chance in making it to the final. Newcastle is already waiting for one of them. On form and based on history, we all know that Manchester United should win this game. But we all also know that that's not the case all the time in football. But I expect Man U to win this game, even though it's away at Nottingham Forest.
But from the way it is, even though Man U is right now playing one of their best form,
Yes,
but Nottingham Forest, knowing fully well that, well, EPL, no go area, but this one, we can fight hard.
Yeah,
That can actually fire them up to see what they can do to upstage Manchester United. This is a cup.
They will really relish the chance of getting to the final, and they know they will have better chances when they face Newcastle. They know their final is probably this particular game. And all they need to do, all the coach needs to do, is to have a plan. We have all seen recently that when you play a big team and you have a plan and you try to execute your plan and your plan works out, it actually works out for you. I'm sure that he would have his own plan. I'm sure that our Nigerian striker will be there thinking, how can I get a goal against Manchester United? And I really wish him the best with that.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe I think he's injured. You're talking about Awoni.
Awoni picked up an injury.
Yeah, I think a knock.
I don't think it is going to stop him from this.
Okay.
I don't think it's a big one that will stop him from this game. But if in case he's going to play, I really wish him the best against Manchester United.
You're not mentioning Dennis.
Dennis has not really been up to the.
And when the league started, it was one that was like trying to be the.
But then he dropped form and he hasn't been that player which we all know he can be. But Awoni has been doing quite great. But notwithstanding, Manchester is doing well right now. They are in the form of their life. Rashford is doing great, scoring goals everywhere. De Gea is saving goals. Casemiro is having a good game and a good season in Manchester United right now, and I expect them to win. We all know that the expectation is on Man U to win the game, but I'm sure the Nottingham Forest guys will also come with their own plan.
While you are actually at that particular talk there, something came to my mind about some fans being arrested in Uganda.
8 fans. 8 fans actually.
Man United versus Arsenal.
And their fun and their offense was that they were celebrating the title already. Even before, even halfway.
Why should they be doing that?
But
have they won?
I can decide we have won. I have faith we've won, and I buy a trophy and celebrate
there are laws, there are different laws that guide each country. So maybe according to the authorities that they didn't get.
It is very, very strange. this one I think is an agenda against Arsenal fans.
Agenda against Arsenal fans. Well, just to divert a bit, adding some banter in the studio here, just to talk about some fun about football. It's always very interesting when you do that. But now let's move away from the EFL Cup as we talk about Copa del Rey. Matches will also be coming up. Let's look at Barcelona. They'll be playing against Real Sociedad. Sevilla away to Osasuna. Those two games will be coming up. And who knows, maybe Sevilla would at least brazen up to win this particular game against Osasuna.
Notwithstanding what has happened to them from the beginning of the season, Sevilla has upped their performance right now. Their previous game, they've been doing well. And even especially in the Copa del Rey, they've been winning matches we thought they are going to lose, and I expect them to edge out at Osasuna. It's going to be a very, very tough game. Osasuna are a high pressing team. They press you high and they don't allow you to breathe when you are playing against them. But I believe that with the luck that has been going on for Sevilla, they should be able to pass that hurdle. But it's going to be a tough one. Barcelona and Real Sociedad is another cracking encounter.
Because really, Sociedad is not a team you push over.
No,
they are very sound.
They are not a pushover. They are really good. And you can see that when you look at their position on the table and their recent performances. But Barcelona also are actually not, they are not exactly there, but they are getting there. And the team is improving day by day by day. Dembele is being more consistent now than he used to be.
And he was almost leaving last summer.
Yeah, he was almost leaving. But you know how the fortune of a footballer is. One point he's leaving, another point he's doing medical here, another point he's signing for another club.
You are citing the example of, I still remember, Man City and Chelsea concerning
there's the most recent
Robinho.
one. There's the most recent one. Danjuma.
Yes, I not. Danjuma was almost going to Everton,
he even did medical
with them.
But now he chose the Spurs, and he chose to go to the wrong club in London.
Maybe he's looking at the performance now. Everton are not getting it right.
Exactly, but I thought
so he's scared of going to a club that will get. He needs to be careful too.
I understand he's being careful and all that, but he's going to play in the wings of Tottenham, which for me, Richarlison is not really in the team the way I expected him to be yet, because Kulusevski is doing well. And if you look at the other wing, Song cannot be dropped. So I don't know which position he wants to go and play there. He should have embraced Everton, where he would be an obvious starter, instead of going to Tottenham. It's not as if they are going to win the league or anything. They never win anything. That club will never win anything. I don't think in my lifetime they will win something anyway. So they are my I think they are the bitter rival in London. So don't expect me to say anything good about Tottenham.
Seriously, I understand where the beef is coming from. Talking about Spanish Copa del Rey, there, Barcelona will be fighting out against Real Sociedad as Sevilla play away to Osasuna in those games. And now some Bundesliga matches also be coming up. Let's look at them as we look at the likes of Union Berlin, Werder Bremen, Freiburg, Eintracht Frankfurt, Borussia Mönchengladbach against Augsburg, Bayern Leverkusen will be at home against VfL Bochum 1848, and you have Borussia Dortmund playing away to Mainz 05.
I like the Dortmund team right now, and they are also signing the right players. We've always known them to sign the right players, groom them, and sell them
and make money
out of them. Right now, they have Jude Bellingham, and he has been great. The last game, he was super great. If his price tag used to be 100 million, I think it's just up by 20 million right now. And Liverpool should be ready to pay it all. So the Dortmund team, they are good. And I think they should be able to take the 3 points away from Mainz. The match that is catching my attention is Werder Bremen against Union Berlin also. That is going to be a very tough game, in the sense that Bremen are not a pushover. And Berlin have dropped their form a bit.
And they started so well.
Yeah, they started so well, but after the World Cup, they kind of dropped points, and they are like maybe 4th or 5th in the table now, which is not where they used to be. It's going to be a tough cracker, and as always, it's going to be an entertaining match.
Entertaining match it will be. Talking about all those matches that will be coming up over there in German Bundesliga. But right now, before we wrap it, let's talk about two transfer story. Well, Nigerian vice captain William Troost-Ekong right now has moved to join Salernitana of Italy. Well, good for him. He's no longer with Watford. He has actually moved on right now to play over there in Italian Serie A.
He wasn't getting the right game time. And this is a good move for him. He used to be at the Serie A before. He knows how it is there. So, and Salernitana kind of needs some kind of an improvement in their own defense as well. So I believe this should be a good move for him. He should come back into the Salernitana team and play week in, week out, because the most important thing for a footballer is to play. And as long as he sees the opportunity for him to play as Salernitana, I support him leaving Watford, which is not even the first year of English football. It's better that he's here now in the first year of Italian football. Maybe he would, use this opportunity to, better his game and come back to the limelight the way he should be.
Well, through Ekong, hopefully he gets better. We wish him all the best as he plays straight with Salernitana, moving away from England to Italy. He's not a new player to Italy anyway, but right now he will be adding more. Let's see what he'll be doing, at least using Salernitana as a bet to get himself back to the Super Eagles. At least if he gets it better defensively, we can also feel it here in Nigeria. Let's talk about Everton. News came out that, yes, they sacked their former coach, talking about Frank Lampard, but right now, a lot of reports saying well, they want to sell the club for £500 million. Majority owner Fahad Moshiri says, well, he's denied that report of potential sale of Everton right now.
It would have done the club a whole lot of good. Moshiri and his management team are running Everton like as if it's not an important business for them. As if it's not an important business for them. It's very, very sad to see where Everton are at the moment. I am not happy. I'm not their fan, but I feel like the management, I could see that the management are really not doing well when it comes to running of that club. They've been changing coaches, but we all know that the problem of Everton is not even coaches. You cannot sell a player of the caliber of Richarlison and not have a replacement for him, and then expect your team to perform better. You sell somebody like that, you need to bring in somebody
to replace him.
And then they all kind of placed their hope in Gordon, but something happened. That Chelsea transfer link for Gordon kind of like turned his head and made him disinterested. They kept him there. It's not as if he wanted to stay. He really wanted to leave for Chelsea. So I think wrong investments and sacking of coaches doesn't fix all these problems. You need to have a plan. You need to have a project. You need to have a long-term project, work towards it. But there's no plan in Everton apart from sacking of coaches. So if they continue on that, they won't get it. They need to sell the club to a very, very serious owner who would do things the right way.
Well, hopefully they will hear the voice of Joseph Peter there calling for a better management for the team that play at the Goodison Park called Everton there. Well, that's where we drop the curtain on the show, talking about 360 Sport on Trust TV. Joseph Peter, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, sir.
I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.